I think, I think we might finally be live after not only being 25 minutes late for the stream today, but technically a week and 25 minutes plus a few hours late because I had technical difficulties trying to get this stream going last week, and today was absolutely no different, guys. I won't go through it all, but I had software issues, and then I had camera issues, and I still have my light on from my phone here because I was crawling around underneath my desk trying to get everything fixed. But I'm back, guys. I'm back. It has been months since I've been able to get online or onto the YouTube channel. A lot of stuff has changed. There's stuff coming to the channel that I wanted to get you guys up to date on. A lot of stuff has changed in my life. A lot of bad stuff, a lot of good stuff coming out of a lot of bad stuff, and basically just a lot of changes overall. But what I wanted to do today was just kind of hang out, get you guys caught up on all those things, chat with you guys again, and you know, just hang out, get you caught up, let you know what's going on, and see what's going on with you guys as well. So hopefully this stream is going all right. I see Devo Cut is in here, says, and you didn't hit me up? Good to have you back, buddy. It's good to be back, man. Even so, we are running not the optimal stream today. So I usually use Streamlabs OBS, and for whatever reason, I had it all set up, and I clicked go live, and it didn't want to connect to the internet, even though I'm clearly connected to the internet. So I had to revert back to regular, old, reliable OBS, but I haven't touched that in quite a while, and so I didn't have all my settings and all that kind of stuff. So we might not have all the bells and whistles from the usual streams, but this is just going to be a basic Hangout stream. But one thing we do have in this stream, well, I shouldn't say that yet until I click and see if it works, right? Because that's been the way it goes. Yeah, we got our live chat up here. So, yes, if you guys are hanging out live, if you did manage to wait through my technical difficulties and being late and are in here hanging out, please do pop a comment up here and let us know how you're doing, what's going on. Oh, and happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Halloween. Oh, so much happening. So I am a little bit tired and a little bit flustered today because I actually did have a shoot this morning down in DC that I got back from maybe about an hour ago. So still a little bit of decompression, but we'll get this going. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys. Let's see what we've got here. All right, so we're going to go through a couple of news related things, and with news related things I mean stuff related to this channel and to myself. So first and foremost, one of the biggest things you've probably noticed is that this office looks very similar yet different to my streaming setup from about 10 plus months ago, and that is because we are finally back home. After the fire last November, our house has been rebuilt. Everything is back together. We moved back in a month ago. This is my old office, but it has been redesigned and redone. Still a work in progress. I want to do some lighting and stuff in here, clean it up a little bit. But you can see I have all my lovely nerd toys on display and all that. So this space will be our sort of desktop streaming space as we move forward. Andres is asking, how's the construction? So yeah, actual construction of the house is complete, and so we are working now on basically moving, unpacking, getting everything settled back in, and it's a lot of work. So we've got that going on. Now my studio downstairs is almost done. Construction-wise, done. But of course, it's a studio. I'm setting it up. I'm adding all these bells and whistles and fun stuff. And my networking guy has actually been extremely busy during this political season. He's been running AV and stuff like that for a lot of the political campaigns. So this office is not yet connected to everything downstairs, so I can't stream from down there just yet, but that is coming. And if you are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about the studio, I have been doing a series on this channel about the reconstruction and development process of my new studio down in the basement. It's called the Studio Rebuild Series. There's a playlist here on my channel. I believe there is a link in the description down below. This stream did get duplicated somehow, and so I'm not sure what carried over and what didn't, but if it's not there now, I will make sure that it is there by the time this is published. So we've got that going. Make sure to check that out. I am going to have the big reveal video coming up soon. I'm in the process of getting that shot and put together, so make sure you're subscribed so that you can see the reveal of it in its sort of final form. And then there's going to be a few subsequent videos after that where I'm going to talk a little bit about the lighting design down there, the camera setups, and of course eventually the live streaming setup that I will have going on down there. But for the time being, we'll be able to stream up here. Something new for the streaming setup that I'm trying out, maybe you guys can let me know how it's performing, is I switched microphones. So now I'm like all of those streamers who have their mic in the shot. This is a Shure SM7B. Picked it up, seemed to be a pretty popular mic. Of course, Shure just came out with another mic that might even be a little bit better. But let me know how this guy is sounding. Let me know if you guys like the sound of it. I am no audiophile, so I am kind of clueless when it comes to audio, but at least let me know if the levels are coming through clean, how it sounds in here. Yeah, I've got a lot to learn, but I think I'm going to like this mic. It's nice to have it here in this office setup, and hopefully it sounds good as well. I know you can do like the radio voice, like, hello, welcome to the stream. But no, we are not an ASMR channel. Sorry guys, got to drink my Red Bull today because like I said, I've been up since about 4:30 this morning. So hey, I've already been up 12 hours. Andres says happy for you. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you out there who have been so super supportive over these past 10 months. Yeah, that's how long it was until we were able to move back in. Things are coming back together. Feels good. Still a ways to go, just mostly organization stuff, but it is nice to be back in our own house after so long. And starting to get things like this streaming setup all put back together, back to some normal semblance of life. But as happy as that is, I do have a couple of pieces of news that are not quite so positive. Actually, they're not positive. But yeah, so the first thing is, if you follow me on social media, you guys have probably seen this. And if you don't follow me on social media, why not? You should go ahead and check out all the links in the description down below: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. But my wife and I, we have 2 Siberian Huskies who we love very, very much. And unfortunately, over these past couple of months, one of our Huskies, she was diagnosed suddenly with a really aggressive stomach cancer. And actually, she passed away just a few weeks after that diagnosis. So it was a very tough time. That was sort of the beginning of where I really wasn't engaging on YouTube and everything like that, because we had a lot of stuff going on at home. But yeah, so, it's a tough thing. She was 9. It was very unexpected. We loved her very much. And we will miss Fiona very, very much. But out of that tragedy, there is I don't want to say an upside, but something positive has emerged out of that. And that is, we have adopted a new Siberian Husky. We have a 1-year-old female, and her name is Mila. So our other Husky, he's 2, Indy. He now has a playmate, and she is a ball of energy. And I'm not exaggerating. She is wearing him and us out. But it's good that we were able to find her and give her a home. Apparently, she had been through 3 homes previously because people couldn't handle her, and so they kept giving her up. But she's been doing very well here with us, and we're really happy to have her with us. So yeah, like I said, a bad thing and a good thing. Walter, being Detroit, was wondering where you went. Good to see you. Yeah, I haven't gone anywhere necessarily, but just haven't been present online. So we've had a lot of other stuff. Another update. Again, something that if you follow me on social media, you probably know that for the past nearly 7 years, in addition to doing my own gigs, I have also been full-time a cinematographer, producer, and editor for a company based in London, and we would do conference television programs. Well, obviously, COVID-19 hit hard in that industry, and work was hard to come by, and unfortunately, I guess it's been about a month and a half ago, I lost my job. So, it was just the fact that it was just too much to keep all of the employees on. There just wasn't enough work for me to do. And so I had to be let go. They're taking care of me very well. They did take care of me over the past, like I said, nearly 7 years. And I kind of saw it coming, so it wasn't a blindsided shock. I could see that the work was drying up and knew that, costs were high to keep all those employees on, including myself. But out of this, instead of panicking, it has given me sort of a rejuvenation into my own production company, my own business. I have always had it, but it's always kind of been a side gig thing. I never went really full force 100% into it because I always had the other, salary job. So now all of my time and resources have been freed up to really focus on my own brand and my own business. And it has actually been going really, really well. I've been going out on shoots regularly. Like I said, I actually had a shoot just this morning. I have another one tomorrow. I've been getting back into doing a lot of high-end gimbal work, which has been great. I've been reconnecting with the local community here of other DPs and stuff. I've been helping out on shoots. I've been running shoots. So I've really been getting back into it, and I'm gonna keep pushing and see how long I can make that go. I really don't want to go and search for another job. I think this was kind of the push to really finally get me to be 100% into that. So I've been working on my own company, my own branding. I've always had it, like I said, but I'm really going to go full force and see what we can make of it and see what I can grow it into and what we can do. So it'll be an adjustment, but so far it has almost been a breath of fresh air to be sort of at the reins again, in control, and steering things where I think I'd like them to go. And to be honest, it had been a while since I was able to go out and shoot, and I have been going out and shooting on an at least weekly basis, and it has been good. So I know that's not the case for a lot of people. I know COVID has affected a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and I'm not immune to the effects as well. So the job loss was, a tough one, but a hurdle that will be overcome. So that's another thing that I was kind of, that gear shift from what do I do now to ramping up shoots and paid gigs and everything is also another reason that I wasn't quite so engaged here on the platform. But hopefully you have seen that I have been posting, and you will be seeing more content coming on this channel. So I am getting back into it because part of my brand, part of my company, part of me and the persona and what I do is this channel. And so I really want to make sure that it continues and that it stays up to snuff. And I don't think we're going to have any problem with that, especially with the new studio coming and all the stuff that I've been working on. I think it's going to be great. with that in mind, I thought about doing this at the beginning of the show. Some of you may remember that I started doing weekly polls for the live viewers. Sometimes they're related to the topic, sometimes they're not. And I wanted to do one that's kind of relevant, you know, since I had so many both negative and positive things happen in my life recently. I wanted to pull up a poll for us, so give me just a second here. One of the things I lost in a system reboot here was the poll, so let me get that straw poll back up. Bear with me, guys. This is like back to the days of like learning how to stream crudeness, but you know what? It is what it is. All right, so let me get this over here. Let me copy the link. I'm going to post it into the chat, and we're going to take a look at it. So this is the poll that I wanted to see what you guys had to say. So the question is, how much has 2020 changed your normal life? And that's in quotes, you know, normal life. Are things super different? Or, you know, but anyway, I've got a couple generic options in here. You know, we're not getting super deep and personal and everything, but I just know that since I've been affected by it, I wanted to see kind of how everybody else is doing as well. So we've got, you know, all the way from everything has changed and it's more difficult, to everything is completely changed and, but it's looking positive. Maybe nothing really changed for you. But anyway, if you go there to that link in the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact, I do like to keep these polls live. You can go down into the description below, and the chat is there. And in a little bit, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the poll results. Hopefully, we get some people in the poll there. Like I said, we don't have to go too super personal with this. So just trying to get an idea of how everybody's doing as 2020 is drawing to, I guess, a close. I know we still got a lot of hurdles ahead in just the next couple of months, but I wanted to check in on everybody because I know I've had so many things happen to me, for me, and around me that I'm sure I'm not an isolated case. I'm sure there's some stuff going on with everybody else too. But anyway, let's get back here into the chat. Let's see here. We've got a quiet chat today. You know, that's probably my fault for stringing you guys along. You know, not streaming for like 3 months, then telling you last week, oh, we're going to stream on Saturday. Oops, it didn't work. Oh, we're going to stream on Sunday. Oops, it didn't work. We're going to stream next Saturday at 1. No, I have a shoot. I'm going to push it till 4. Oh, technical difficulties, 4:25. So for those of you who are here in the chat, I really appreciate you hanging with me on that. All right. But anyway, guys, there are a few other things that I just wanted to mention as part of my plan going forward and staying independent. There have been a lot of things that I have been working on putting together, both as sources of income and also as resources to you guys and the community out there. And one thing I've been doing is I've really been ramping up my affiliate programs. So those businesses that I'm affiliated with, you know, where if you go and use my links to purchase equipment that I recommend or review, then you can, then I get a little bit of the percentage of it, and it's a win-win all around. But not so much just that, because, you know, you can put links out there. But one thing I've really been trying to do is make the gear that I use and recommend easier for you to find if you do want to go and do that. And so one of the things that I have put together and am continuing to build is, let me see here, second screen, there we go, is a kit.co page. So Kit basically allows, you know, creators, filmmakers, photographers, whomever, to put together kits or collections of, you know, some of their favorite equipment and stuff that they recommend. And so I've been going through and putting together some kits here. There is a link down in the description of this video, and there will be on all of my subsequent videos from now on, to my kit.co page, and I am continuously updating this and putting in new kits and configurations and all of that. But it should be a one-stop shop for you to go in here and find the stuff that I'm using, that I recommend, and pick it up if you'd like. And so, you can go in here and, if we go to my lighting kit, it gives you a whole breakdown. I've put in here all of the lights and stuff that I'm currently using. And then if you wanted to, you go and click on one. And I've got it set up where, I don't want to force you to go to one place or another, but you can then choose, which of these, retailers do you prefer to purchase from, and you can go through and do that. And so I've got that for all these various products. So lighting, cameras, I've been putting together essentials for some Pavo tubes, editing control surfaces, lots of stuff. Of course, safe set supplies in these COVID days. So I'm working on putting them together, and I'm not just cramming them full of like every piece of gear that I've ever touched. I'm really trying to keep them up to date with the stuff that I'm using and recommend. I don't want you guys to go out there and be bombarded with junk, just because, I checked it out, 5 years ago or something like that. I want you guys to be able to go in and say, okay, this is the stuff that he uses, he trusts, he recommends. Maybe it is something that I used 5 years ago, and that means I definitely trust and recommend it. But it's all going to be on that kit page. So this is going to keep developing. You'll see more of it. And please feel free to check it out, what I've got already on there, and browse and go through it. And of course, like I said, they're all affiliate links, so they'll all help me as well to keep everything going as I blaze this new trail of, into the unknown. Let's see what we got going on in the chat here. We got some people popping in. Devo Cut, my man Devin. Does this mean more YouTube videos now that you're focused on your own company? Yes, it does. And I want to mention that I have a pile of gear downstairs that is waiting for review. So I've got a lot of stuff to go through. I've got some cool tips and tricks videos that I'm putting together as well, because I don't want to just flood the channel with reviews of products. I want to make sure you're getting information and education as well. And of course, really going to get back to the weekly Saturday live show schedule, whether it be up in here or down in the studio looking at products and demos and stuff like that, so that we can have a lot more content and keep it coming and keep things rolling. So yes, you will be seeing a lot more of me. Let's see what we've got going on here. Andre says, it happens. My live yesterday stopped suddenly because my computer for some reason did not charge while connected, and the battery drain at least lasted 46 minutes. Yeah, man, I will figure this out. But the hard thing is that I'm a very scientific kind of person when it comes to these things. I changed too many variables in this setup at once. So now I am going to have to go through and one by one switch things to figure out what exactly is causing me my issues. So Streamlabs OBS was having issues just connecting to the internet. It couldn't connect to the server. So if I can get that up and running, everything else is looking good. Then I was having issues with my camera not connecting to old OBS, and it was just, I was pulling my hair out in here, guys. Like, I was under the desk with my phone as the flashlight, like in a rat's nest of cables, just trying to get everything put together. I was like, I cannot delay this again. They will kill me. But yeah, we got it going, and we'll get back to those nice slick streams that you're used to. Have they ever been slick? I guess they've been okay. Well, we'll see. Devin saying, you check out that new Panasonic Cube. I did see it. I have not really delved too deep into it. There's been a lot of cameras that have come out, and I am admittedly way behind. So I need to get myself caught up on the specs of a lot of these things that are out now, so that I know what I'm talking about. So give me a little bit of time to take a look. Maybe we'll do a roundup stream on one of these live shows where we talk about all the new cameras, and sort of compare them and see who they're for and what kind of stuff. But yes, Let's see here. Andres to say, I'm curious on your take on the C70 and the Komodo. The C70, the C70, it looked really interesting. I'm a little underwhelmed by the codecs, but that's what Canon does. I mean, they're not going to give you the same codecs as the C300 Mark II, 3, whichever one it has the same sensor as, because it has the same sensor. So basically that would be the same camera. So they have to, I don't want to say handicap it, but they have to, put it in its own class. And I think they really are targeting it to be a B cam as opposed to an A cam, but that doesn't mean you can't use it as an A cam. But that's another one that I need to explore more. Yeah, I need to explore that. And the Komodo, I have not been hands-on with it, but I know several guys around here who have them, and I've actually shot side by side along with them on a few projects. We had a few Komodos running and stuff like that. Looks really interesting. Definitely reminds me of my Z-Cam, my E2 F6, which I love. Yeah, maybe I'll take a look at it. I do know where I can, possibly borrow one from some of these guys that I've been shooting some stuff with. So we'll look into that. It's a possibility. I really haven't done much content with Red because I usually shoot Blackmagic, and also Reds get covered so much by the YouTube and the high-end filmmaking community that usually I don't bother. But maybe I'll take a look at it. Maybe a Zcam F6 versus Komodo test thing could be necessary in the future. John says, hi, how are you? I'm good. And he says, how do I get community tab? I'm not sure what you mean. How do you get community tab? I do have a community tab on my channel. I think if you just go to the channel's front page, up there along the top, it should have a tab for community where I have some posts and stuff in there. So if that's what you're referring to, that's where it is. Aaron, good to see you, man. Good to see you back. You were away for so long. I almost caught up to you in subscribers. Yeah, Aaron, man, I know you've been crushing it, and we're gonna have to have a some chats about live streaming, because man, I had glitches like crazy again today. I'm actually running off of original OBS because my Streamlabs OBS didn't want to connect to the internet, and then I had issues with regular OBS recognizing my Camlink 4K, and so I had to reroute it into my Blackmagic card inside, and finally got everything working. So it's just good enough. How do you enable it? I'm not sure. John, I'm not sure if that's something, or how do you get it? So how do you get it on your channel? Okay, I see what you're saying. That's something that YouTube gives, I believe it's after like 10,000 subscribers. And actually for me, even I had 10,000 for a good while, and I didn't have the community tab. And then one day the community tab just showed up. So I'm not sure exactly what their criteria is, or how they roll that function out, or that feature for your channel. But it is based on how many subscribers you have, and YouTube has to activate it for your channel. It's not something that you can go in and enable and do until it's available for your channel. All right, what was the other thing I wanted? Okay, so we talked about kits, and I'm gonna keep doing that, and that's gonna be my lump pool resource for you guys to find the stuff that I'm using. A lot of other creators use kit.com as well, kit.co, and so that, it just seemed like the right platform. It's a good way to put things all in one place. I used to do Amazon lists, but I think this will be a lot easier. I think this will be a lot better. I think it's more flexible for you. The other thing that I am working on, one of my ventures, I got my hands in like 30 different pots here, guys. I'm all over the place. Oh, and Aaron, I didn't even say congratulations. What a jerk I am. Yeah, congratulations for boosting up your subscribers, man. That's fantastic. I sort of just brushed you off. I didn't mean that. And let's see here, just hiding a thing right there. All right, so one thing that I have done in addition to the kits is I have been working on my my website. So my website has always been more geared towards clients hiring me for production work, right? I never really made it like a blog or like a resource, for filmmakers. I hosted some downloads on there and all that kind of stuff. But I am trying to make some more stuff available for filmmakers. So just getting us started. It's very material, but just getting us started. And this will expand in the future. I have been partnering with a couple of brands, and the first one is Nisi filters. So I did a review recently of the filter that's featured there up at top, the Allure Streak Blue filter. Link in the description down below. You can find that review on my channel. And I'm going to be working with Nisi to as a reseller, actually, of their filters. I really like their filters, and there's a lot that I haven't tried as well, and I'm working with them to try and get those in, get them into my hands, do some shooting, do some tests, put some videos out there to show you guys what each of these filters do, and then you'll be able to if you want, you could purchase them from anywhere, or you could come, and I have a store right here on my website where you can direct order Nisi filters and accessories and products and stuff like that. So again, this is all still being developed, but it's just something that I'm putting together. So we got, ND filters, and I'm working on organizing this, but you can go in and choose, your strength, your stops. Anyway, an expert web designer, I am not. Thank you, Squarespace. Not a sponsor. Probably like the only time you've ever heard that on the internet. Squarespace mentioned as not a sponsor. But yeah, so that's another thing that I'm partnering with, working with Nisi, and more brands to come, only if I like their stuff and I trust them. So there's already a couple brands that you guys know that I really like and I work with and I tend to use, and you will find those represented, of course, in my kits. But yeah, so I'm going to work on making more stuff for filmmakers available right here on my actual website. I am putting together a couple things. So I've got my kits on here. I'm going to be putting some merch and swag on there, and I've had some free downloads and fun stuff over there. So not sure if you've ever been really aware of my website. I haven't really ever promoted it on here because the audience really has been for people looking to hire me as a videographer, cinematographer. But I did want to start putting some resources on there for you guys. And so, yeah, I'm working on that. That's another little venture that I'm working on. So I've got a lot of stuff in the works. All right. So enough shameless pitching there of all the things that I'm working on. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. Andre says they should be a sponsor now. Come on, Squarespace. I know what's going on, man. Maybe I'll hit them up and be like, come on, dudes, what's happening here? But yeah, so in terms of the channel, so there we go. We covered my personal and professional and all that, but I want to talk about this channel. So like I said, we're coming back. A lot happened, and it was just a busy time and unexpected events and life changes and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to get back to it. We're going to get back to these live streams. We're going to get that studio finished up. Obviously, as I said before, we will wrap up the studio rebuild series. So I've got a few more videos planned to come out to wrap that up. Again, if you haven't seen that, link to the playlist is down in the description below. You'll be able to check that out. Now, I'm also, like I said, I've got a pile of gear downstairs that I've been working with to review. I've got some wireless follow focus stuff from PD Movie, which is kind of cool. I've got some mics from Comica. I've got some mics from Deity that I owe a review. I've got a bunch, and these poor patient companies. Some of them I've had their stuff for a couple months and I haven't done anything. But I do want to get those done and I do want to share them with you. I've also been playing around with new lights. Those you may have seen if you follow me on social media, but I did want to show them. So this is the Nanlite PavoTube 6C2. I guess there was a version 1 at some point, but yeah, it is an RGB LED tube. and I have been playing around with this. I got a couple of them, and I've been really having fun exploring the capabilities of this. In fact, I liked this one so much that I went ahead and picked up the Big Brothers. So they have the 15C, which is roughly a 2-foot tube. There we go. And the big beast, the 30C, which is about a 4-foot tube. So these are, of course, there we go, bright RGB LED tubes, battery operated, can of course be powered as well. But I have been playing with using these. I've been playing with different ways of rigging them. I developed like I was in the lab or something. I figured out a way to super glue magnets to the clips that come with these guys so that it can actually magnetically mount. The 6C has built-in magnets that allow it to stick to things, and I really liked that feature and wished it was on the big ones, so I sort of figured out how to do that. But I've been playing with a whole bunch of stuff, so you're going to see some videos coming out about these. Both reviews and also ideas for rigging and just how to make use of them, how to light with tubes. Because even I am not particularly, well, let's just say I haven't really done a whole lot of lighting with tubes. So it's a way of thinking that you kind of got to get your head around. So I'm realizing new ways that I can use them, position them, and direct them and focus them. So we'll do a lot of stuff on that too. They're pretty cool. Let me set these guys down. But yeah, so lights, mics, wireless follow focuses. I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to be working on there. Let's see here. Yeah, Aaron saying, I keep seeing people with those Pavo tubes. They look so cool. Yeah, they are pretty cool. There are some quirks and stuff, but I don't want to give away the whole review. But, there are some quirks and stuff, and some ease of use things to consider. But they are pretty cool, and I have been having a lot of fun, like I said, getting into that mindset of how to best utilize tube style lighting, and not just in that like music video party light mode, put it in the background and it's a practical that changes colors, but even using it, I'm looking into using one of the 30C, the long Pavo tubes, as my overhead light down in my studio. So when I get to the lighting video for that studio rebuild series, I'll explore that. We'll see if I end up going with that option or not. The studio downstairs, I was saying earlier, it is construction-wise complete, with the exception of the audio-visual connection between this office and the basement. My AV guy has been super busy with all of the political campaign stuff that's been going on. We live in the DC area, so there's a lot of that going on. So he hasn't had the chance to come out here and finish doing the connections between this room and the basement. So once that's done, we should have some pretty cool content coming for how I've got these connected to be able to stream from down there, but have the stream coming from here. Although I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I barely can get a stream going out off of my current setup, and here I'm talking about remotely streaming from another part of the house, bit by bit, baby steps, right? But yeah, guys, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to share with you. I think that's about it. We covered the personal stuff, we covered the business venture stuff, we covered some of the channel stuff. Overall, things have been, I would say, positive. Like I said, a lot of negatives, a lot of negative surprises came up, but that's life. Yeah, just gonna roll with the punches and see what we got. Speaking of that, let me pull up. Why did I turn off that straw poll? If you guys haven't done it yet, and you are here live and would like to take the live poll, it is in the description down below. But I will also copy the link and paste it here again if you do want to go in there and have not yet submitted. I am going to vote myself right now and see if we got anything. Oh, I already voted in this poll. All right, let's see what we've got here. All right, we got a couple people who voted. So here, let's take a peek here. All right, so these are our poll results as they currently stand. We've had a couple people in there. So this is good. I'm happy to see these kind of results. So the one in the lead is everything has changed completely, but is looking positive. And that's what I selected too. I think that's good. I'm glad to hear that. You know, change is scary and all that, but I'm glad to hear that those of you who have been affected by, you know, change, whether it be good or bad, that things are starting to look positive. And the next one is a lot changed at first, but is returning to normal. That's awesome too. I know a lot of people, it was just sort of a short disruption. And I'm not even talking just necessarily COVID, but just all of 2020. There's been so much stuff. I mean, Sean Connery died today. What? No. Anyway, we won't get into that. But like, there's been so much. So, but these are good. Those are pretty much two of the more positive answers to this. So I'm glad to hear that that's the way things are going for you guys. And if you are watching the replay, chime in and let us know. Yeah, don't worry. All the polls won't be like this. We do nerdy polls too, about, you know, camera sensors and resolution and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get to the fun ones. But for the first one back, you know, I had some personal stories to share with you guys. So I wanted to go a little bit more in depth there on that one. So, but no, we won't be having, you know, like deep therapy sessions every live stream. But thank you to those of you who did participate in that. And if you do still want to, I leave those polls live, so you can go ahead and vote at any time. All right, let's see what we got here. Robert is saying tubes are great, different tools for different jobs. Yeah, most definitely. You know, I don't think I would throw out my other lights and just go all tubes, but I am realizing a lot of things that the tubes can pull off either better or quicker and easier than some of my other lighting fixtures. So yeah, different tools for different jobs, and I'm going to keep exploring what those different jobs are, and see what kind of uses we can get for tube lighting. They're very cool, and it is fun to just swing them around like a lightsaber. I mean, let's be honest, you know it's coming. So, and I'm sure in my review video there's going to be a lightsaber joke or 5. But yeah, they are also very useful tools. Andres is saying, I use Quasar 2-foot 5600 Kelvin with cinefoil as barn doors as a hair light and control the output with a homemade dimmer cord. They work great. Yeah, that's awesome. I was actually talking to somebody today on the shoot that I was on, and they were telling me they do the same. They use a tube light as a rim light, and yeah, they use black wrap or cinefoil to flag it off a little bit, and they direct it down, and it gives just like a nice perfect little rim light. They just put it over top of like their interview subject, and it gives just a nice little downward rim. So yeah, that's a great way to use them, and quasars are great lights. I have used them, not my own personal ones, but a friend has them, and They like anything had ups and downs. The quality of light, of course, is insane, and it's just fantastic. And so I want to see, you know, how do these Pavo tubes, do they give me the same quality, and do they make my life easier than using a Quasar? And if they're about the same, are they more affordable? So those are the kind of things that we always want to look into. But anyway, guys, let me know if you have any other questions. I think I covered pretty much everything that I was planning to. Again, really sorry about the super delays and then just the bare bones of the of this stream. I really want to get my my Streamlabs OBS back up and working, and get all my bells and whistles, and maybe have a stream on time. Dare I say it? You know, but we're gonna get there. I use 4-foot quasars as hair lights all the time. Super easy to rig, dude. Awesome. Yeah, that's I see people use tube lights. Actually, when I went to visit Ledgo, I went to their studio out in California, and they have these big monster Alta tubes. They're the big brother to the Pavo tubes. But yeah, they put like 4 of them and just put it in front of a big, 4x4 silk, turned them on to 100%, and it was like the biggest, brightest, softest key light I had ever seen in my life. And so, yeah, even though they're tubes, you can rig them up to do all sorts of crazy things. It's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, how are you guys doing out there? We'll hang out for a few more minutes. It is just past 5 p.m. Eastern time, but I know I started late because of all the technical difficulties, so I don't want to deprive you of any live stream time. But if you have not yet somehow subscribed to this channel, please make sure you go ahead and do that. Although if you are here, I'm guessing you're probably subscribed because of all the confusion and duplicate streams and all that craziness. I don't think you would have just found me by chance. But yeah, guys, we're looking good. Studio's coming together. Streams are coming back. We'll get all the kinks and the bugs worked out, and yeah, it's gonna be good. I'll get my Red Bull again. And of course, guys, also feel free to let me know if there's anything that you want me to take a look at on this channel as well. So I know there's a lot of things that I have particular interest in myself, and so I go after those things because a lot of the times, as a filmmaker, our interests align. If I see something that I think piques my interest and is helpful to me, chances are there's a lot of you out there that also find it interesting or helpful. And so I go along those lines. But that doesn't mean I think of absolutely everything. So if there is something that you want me to take a look at, or that you have questions about, or just that you think would be fun to do, feel free to let me know. And you don't have to do it here in a live chat. We actually have a Discord server where you can get in touch with me pretty much 24/7, except maybe while I'm sleeping, unless I don't put my phone on vibrate, and then, yeah, even when I'm sleeping. There's a link down in the description below, and you can go in there and chat with me and share stuff, and just, try and build a nice little community where we can hang out and chat beyond the confines of just, a 1-hour weekly live stream show. And Aaron's in there, and we chat back and forth, and I'm sure I will be chatting with Aaron back and forth in there regarding my streaming issues. And trying to sort out what might be blocking my software from connecting to the internet. But yeah, all sorts of fun stuff in there. So if you're interested, make sure to go ahead and do that. The link, as always, is in the description down below. So what did you guys think about this microphone? Does it sound good? I know I'm terrible. I don't wear headphones. I just watch the levels and trust. It could be sounding awful the entire time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this mic. This is the Shure SM7B. I think I like it. I might need to do a little bit of tweaking depending on how my voice sounds on it. But I do like it a little bit better than having to clip myself up with a lav every time. I'll still do that down in the basement studio just so I can move around during the live streams and so forth and grab stuff. But when I'm seated here, I mean, it just makes more sense to have this. And I used to have a shotgun mic that was on this arm and was up out of frame pointing at me. But the problem was that it picked up everything else in that direction over there. And there's actually a door that it's pretty much pointed right at. And even with the door closed, you would hear rustling of my dogs, my cats, everything going on in the house. So I think this is a pretty good mix of sound and sound rejection and all that, and we'll figure it out. People are saying sounds great. Robert says SM7B sounds great. Andre says sounds great. Robert says, I just bought an Apollo Twin so I can use real-time plugins while streaming. Interesting. I don't know that product. I'll have to take a look at that. Is it an audio device, like real-time, like audio plugins to, EQ and effects and all that. I've got an interesting setup here. I actually run everything through a USB mixer, which you can find in my kit. I do have my streaming setup and stuff in there. Of course, this has not been a shining example of, hey, you should get my streaming setup, because it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But no, the audio mixer has been great for me. It's been good, and it allows me to independently control everything with physical dials and all that, because I've got my computer doing enough here. I've got stuff on every screen. But that does sound pretty cool. Bought an Apollo Twin. I'll look that thing up. In fact, actually, let's take a look at it right now. What am I talking about? Why would I wait for it? Apollo. Oh, cool. All right, so let's pull it up. So, audio interface mainly meant for music production. All right, so let's pull. So here you go. Wow, okay. Cool. So they have USB, Thunderbolt. Man, that thing's no joke. That thing's got to be good. Wow, very cool, man. Well, I'm not sure I'm ready to dive into that. At least not quite yet. But I will certainly keep that in mind. That's fantastic. That's cool. I'd never heard of that. Like I said, I'm really not a well-versed audio guy, so I really am open to suggestions and recommendations, and kind of just fumble my way through it and and hopefully figure it all out. All right, let's get back to our chat here. I saw we real-time capabilities, EQ, compression, etc. Cool. Andres uses a Twin also. Yeah, nice. And Daniel Scott Design, hey, what's going on, man? How are you? Catching us right here towards the end of the stream, winding it down, but I do appreciate you popping in. Good to see you. It is good to see everybody. It has been great to be back. Like I said, we're going to get these things going again. I really enjoy these live chats, and, even if we're just chilling, hanging out, like this one, and getting caught up, but yeah, I do have one question to close us out here, because it is October 31st, in the crazy year of 2020. Is anybody actually doing anything for Halloween this year? Unfortunately, I don't think, well, I know that the governor of Maryland and our county and everything has recommended that people don't go out and do anything. So we're really not doing anything. We're not really expecting any kids to come around. My wife actually found something that was kind of cool, where she's taped candy to sticks, little like barbecue skewers, and they're gonna go hide and stick them in the neighbor's yard. And we've got a couple of kids, our friends' kids and our neighbors' kids, are gonna go out, and they're gonna almost like an Easter egg hunt, but for Halloween candy in the yard. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, other than that, we're not really doing much. But yeah, let's see here. What do we got? Before, I was using a PreSonus Studio channel, a little bit easier to get into. Interesting. I'll look that up too. My mixer's a Behringer. Behringer, I can see it, Q8, or it's a Behringer Xenix Q802 USB. And it's been pretty good for me. Daniel just bought my first camera today, Zcam E2 S6. Congratulations, man. That is awesome. I'm sure you're going to love it. I love my F6. But I see guys with the S6 all the time, and they love it. The Super 35 6K sensor, man, you're gonna have a good time with that. Feel free to hit me up if you have any questions about rigging it up and getting it to work. I actually, just the shoot I did today, we were using my Zcam on, and shot a political ad, which will be airing actually probably in the next few hours. They're turning it around that quickly, because obviously there's not a lot of time left. But yeah, I've been using it for commercial work, and it produces great quality. So yeah, congratulations, man. That's awesome. And feel free to get in touch with me. Like I said, if you have any questions, I've got a couple videos about how I rigged mine out, but obviously there's a million ways to make it do whatever you needed to do. Aaron says, I took my cat to the vet today dressed as a bat. That's awesome. Yeah. We tried years ago. Well, I mean, my wife, tried costumes for the dogs. They weren't having it. That was a no. So we've always just said like, hey, they're wolves. You know, it's like, they're wolves. So they always have their costume there. I do not have a costume necessarily. You guys probably know that I have a huge nerd collection of all sorts of stuff, and you'll see more of that down in my studio when we start shooting down there. You can of course see, back over my shoulder, some of the stuff right there. But one of my favorites, and I will close the show by sharing this with you. One of my favorites, of course, right now, is The Mandalorian. Loved the first episode of the second season of Mandalorian. No spoilers. Don't put any spoilers in the chat. Don't put any spoilers in the comments below. If there are people who haven't seen it, don't do that. I don't want to be the source of that. Just want to say that I thought it was great. And of course, while I, was watching it, I had to break out. Sorry for the hat hair. Like I said, I was on a shoot, but I had to break out my Mandalorian helmet. So yeah, happy Halloween. Now I just need the whole rest of the armor. Maybe my wife will let me get the armor, and then I can do that. So yeah, fat chance. But yeah, I love Star Wars. I love the Mandalorian. Ooh, that hat hair. We're getting that hat back on. Robert, I screamed at that ending. Robert, I know you didn't say anything specific, but don't do it. We won't do it. See, Aaron hasn't caught up yet. We can't say anything. But anyway, yeah, good times. I'll probably be wearing that my Mando helmet around for, probably a couple days until the next episode next week. So, Aaron says, oh my God, you should have done the whole stream in this helmet. You know what? I was going to open the stream in the helmet, but I was so frustrated and like flushed from crawling under the desk and like moving cables around that it was a little too hot for me to like wear that. So I was just like, screw it, we're just gonna start normally. And I've had it sitting here off to the side, and I was like, dude, you gotta break it out. I brought it up here, yeah, I don't know if I could do the entire stream with that helmet on. It does get warm pretty quickly, but yeah, so I've just fun stuff. Got to stay positive. Got to have fun. But anyway, guys, Daniel, thank goodness I just saw your follow-up that you were joking. What's the Mandalorian? Come on. Nah, even if you really didn't know, I wouldn't hold it against you. But anyway, guys, I am going to wrap this up and get out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. It is great to be back. Lot of cool stuff coming. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you keep notifications on, and make sure you follow me on social media, especially on like Twitter and Facebook and stuff, and Instagram, because I am sharing lots of content on there as well, with all these shoots that I'm going on, and also alerts for what's going on this channel, because sometimes YouTube is just, sometimes they just don't deliver alerts. So that'll keep you guys up to date. Gear reviews coming, hangouts coming. Finishing up the studio rebuild series, all that stuff in there. New kit.com collections that I'm going to keep going, and trying to make assets and stuff, or not assets, but trying to make equipment that I recommend and use easier for you guys to access. And so that's all stuff that I'm going to continue working on in the future, as I build this channel further. And as I now build my personal brand even further as an unemployed yet self-employed, or fully self-employed now, person. So yeah, guys, appreciate you hanging out. I know I've said that like 30 times, so you know that I mean it. But I'm going to sign off. Enjoy whatever you may be doing this Halloween. You guys stay safe. We're going to make it. There's only a couple months of 2020 left. We can do this. And like I said, you guys just take care of yourselves. And I look forward to seeing you in the next stream. All right, guys.